What's going on, everyone? Today I will show you how to convert one of these old FireWire DTE recorders to take SD card. Simply put, we're going to take one of these old guys and basically modernize it, eliminating the need for any old style hardware. These are super cheap to pick up on eBay. Best bet is Marketplace though. I got this one for $50. And I've even found a DVC Pro HD, kind of like this guy, for about $100. This mod is especially nice for enthusiasts nowadays, as this is a pretty niche thing to come by. Also, different ways to set this up. We don't have to have the SD card coming out the top. You can even somehow get it out the sides, or even out the top back here. So, first thing you'll notice is 6 screws, 4, 5, 6. This will pop the back off, and each panel here, this panel, this panel, this one, and this one, will pop off separately. So I just kind of had cut out unscrewing those videos, or those screws, what the hell am I saying? And all these panels, once you loosen it up a little bit, wiggle it a little, you'll see all these panels will just eventually pop out. Maybe open it up a little. Just kind of grab them. Oh, this one got cracked. I've never actually had them stay in place this much. Yeah, just wiggle it enough, and then eventually, once you get one, they'll all kind of pop off. This top one is giving me a little headache. This one was glued, but I've never had that issue where they're glued there. Put these aside. On this side. Okay, now we're ready to pop off the back. When you pop off the back, you're not going to have a lot of space to work with, of course, because of the wires. You have one right there, and you have one connecting the fan here. The battery and the fan wires are the two important ones. But before we can tackle the fan wires, you will notice that everything opens up a good amount except the bottom. Do not force it. This is the hard drive cable. The IDE ribbon is not very long, so it only allows for basically this much play. That gray little ribbon in there is what we need to remove. So the best way to remove this, I'd say, is get a flathead. And in here you will see those gold pins. It's a 40-pin connector running from about here to here. If you take a flathead on each side and just wiggle it a little bit, wiggle it a little bit, keep going back and forth, this will all eventually pop off. So yours will not look like this on the inside, but just to give a reference, you have this fan that's connected here, so obviously the cable is a lot shorter. You just have to unplug it from the top here. You can delete it if you want, or keep it. We don't have a hard drive anymore, so we don't actually need it. This battery, you can stay attached or unplug it from here. But once you get the hard drive out, you will have a lot more room. This tiny ribbon is all that room at the beginning, which is why you can't open it far. About 20 mils, I don't know. I'm not going to do it, but basically you're taking this tab, wiggle it from this side, wiggle it from that side, and wiggle it all the way up until it's out. Then the hard drive you can throw away to the side. You can order another one of these cables or use the one that did come with the hard drive. If you have to take the one from the hard drive, you are unscrewing these. This will slide out to the bottom, so it'll go that way. And then you just pop off the top there, slide it back in, and all good to go. But we're not using this anymore. On these IDE ribbons, it's important that you line up that arrow, which is very hard to see. That arrow, that's lining up your power port. So this arrow has to be lined up with the focus enhancement's far left pin. Now this is where we can start to variate on the setup. So what I went with was a compact flash adapter. So this device, readily available on Amazon, replaces the hard drive. You'll put a compact flash card in the top here, and then you can use the compact flash card to capture your footage, or you can go a step further like me and turn the compact flash into another adapter that will take SD card. You can also get, right from IDE, the 44 pin, or 40 pin, whatever it is, straight to SD card, bypassing compact flash. This option wasn't available in Canada at the time of purchase, so we took this route. On the side, there's 3 pins here. These 3 pins tell the main system what drive is running. As you can see, you have jumper pins, which is here. When you're doing this install, you're going to need to make sure there's a jumper cap, which should be already on here, installed on the 1 and 2 pins. That tells the system that there's just one master drive to grab from. And I know it's hard to see through my gel, but the far 2 right pins are connected with a wire, and then I have a gel little cap to protect it. If you put it on 2 and 3, that's basically telling it there's a secondary drive, so go to that one. But there is no secondary drive, so that would air out the system. So yeah, get one of these devices on Amazon or the SD version, and this is what you will need. So if you go the compact flash route, you will then need a compact flash card or a compact flash to SD adapter. Once you have that, you can then stick an SD card in here, but I didn't want to open up my device every time I wanted to get footage. So what I bought, again, was an SD extender. This extends it all the way out the device for access. So, I'll plug this guy into here, like so. If you do run this route, you may have to shave the left side here a little bit. If you can notice, it's a little more shaved just for some clearance room. Which way does it go? What I like to do is kind of fold the top over so there's room on that side. Install the device. And this is the new hard drive. All you need. So, once you kind of plug everything back in, you're kind of good to go. One thing I did forget to explain is that these old devices were made before 64 or any SD high capacity cards were made. If you do try and use a 64, 128 gig, 256, it might not be recognizable. The device will tell you that there is an error. What we have to do is basically trick the device into thinking that this SD card is in fact just a hard drive. By doing that, you will turn the file format of these cards from exFAT to FAT32. So, if you're running this setup, what I like to do is just wrap the extra slack around the adapter. I am no tech guy, so I don't really condone what I'm doing, but it works for me. It works for me. With that ready to go, plug back in the battery. And I completely deleted my fan. The fan is only to cool down the hard drive, which is not being used anymore. So no need for this. You can keep it for extra cooling, but I just took it out for extra space. Also, battery's going to run a lot longer as it doesn't have to power the big hard drive, no disk spinning. And that is kind of a big problem with these older devices, as the batteries do tend to poop out quickly. So by putting this on, I'm just going to kind of line up this here. Line this up here. Make sure everything kind of looks normal. Everything does. My wire likes to get tucked right by the screw hole there, so it kind of messes with things, but once you get it past, you're good. Before you screw down all the way, make sure you put all these inserts back in the right way, the correct spots, and it'll make the process a lot easier. Alright, then we are back to screwing back in the case. Alright, then once they're all plugged in, get your SD card of choice in there. And get a battery and let's make sure everything works. One thing I forgot to explain with these. Your read and write speeds have to be over 25 megabytes per second according to the manual. I have this laying around, so that's why it's a little overkill. But, yep. Alright, we'll power on the device. Already it's a lot lighter. You'll see a red light in there kind of beeping. That's the hard drive. And right away it recognized the hard drive. There's some instances where it won't, and you will need to go to Utilities, Format, and this will format the SD card accordingly. But I like to format on the computer to get the extra storage out of it. And you can also check the status, temperature, and all the like. Now I'll get my camcorder. Obviously, pop the FireWire port open. They say make sure devices are off before, but I've done it plenty of times with it on. Just like that. If you want to record right away, tapeless, over to control and hit tapeless. So from the main screen, just one click over. I have it set to my left button here, so I just hit that and turn on my camcorder. As you see, no tape symbol. And we're recording. Everything will go to the SD card in perfect 1-to-1 quality. No loss of footage. No loss of, I guess, quality. And really the best way to go tapeless. Alright, you can then take your footage, an adapter for your computer, or if your computer has one, and we will get the files on there. Slide that in there. And then on my screen, FS something, FIRESTORE pops into. You'll see the drive here, and all files are available for viewing. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any questions, please comment. I will try my best to answer and help everyone with their issues.